Hello historians, it's January 19th, 2021. Still here in my office. It's really cold outside. Well, it's not that cold outside, but I'm from Southern California, so it's really cold outside to me. So I just want to read you something today. So to start with, number one, true peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. We know through painful experience that freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. This is why right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant. The time is always right to do what's right. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. Now, since yesterday was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, MLK Day, you might have guessed that those are Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. quotes. Quotes that are inspiring. Hopefully, even today, he gave a great speech that he gave 58 years ago, and it still rings true to us when he said, "I have a dream." And I'm going to have you watch that today as well. I want you to understand that Dr. Martin Luther King, in his time, was not the revered, popular, respected man in all of America when he was alive. In fact, during his lifetime, he was one of the most hated men in America, according to a poll. One of the most hated men in America. Why? Why? Because, first of all, he spoke difficult truth to power, and he spoke difficult truth to everyone. He also wanted to turn the world upside down. Slavery had been ended for a very, very long time. But equality and freedom had not come to African American people. They still lived as second-class citizens in much of America, and they were still not given the respect, perhaps that they that they definitely deserved as human beings, as children of God. And it's really unfortunate that as humans, part of our sin nature, call it that, is to prefer the people who are like us, the people who share our values, share our faith, share our looks. I call it being tribal. We all like our tribe, and that is not in any way what Jesus called us to be. We need to rise above that part of our nature that says, I only want to be with the people like me. Those other people make me uncomfortable, or I don't like those other people, or I want to be above those people and put them down low. I don't trust those people. They might be dangerous to me. With no evidence, I think they might be dangerous to me. Okay? I want you to think about those ideas and ask yourself, do I feel that way sometimes about people who are different from me? And I don't just mean people of a different race. It might be people of a different country who speak a different language. It might be people who do not share your faith, who may be hostile to your faith. How do you look at those people? Do you love them unconditionally, meaning in your behavior? Do you treat them with love unconditionally because you want to be like Jesus? Christian co-op, we need to talk about these things, right? And Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a pastor. He was a preacher. And sorry, my new dog is growling at the people walking past my front door. So I'm going to close the door on her for a minute. So remember, Dr. Martin Luther King loved Jesus. He loved people. And he wanted people to be treated, all people. Didn't matter where you came from. He wanted them treated with respect. Was Dr. Martin Luther King perfect? No, of course not. He was a human being like all of us. Did he make mistakes? Undoubtedly. And what he chose to do was follow a path of peaceful resistance, which he adopted from Gandhi. If you haven't studied world history, great man in India who actually changed the world in India through peaceful resistance. And that was what Dr. Martin Luther King stood for. So I want to talk about that, but I also wanted you to understand that he wasn't well loved, especially in white America, because racism was open and racism was not necessarily condemned in those times. If y'all have not watched the film Hidden Figures about the black women who worked for NASA, I highly recommend it. It gives you a really good picture of what it was like to be a smart, educated black person in the American South, okay? Because it takes place in Hampton. So it takes place at Langley. So I want you to think about those things. So you have a number of things to do on the rest of this email. Okay, so now you've watched this video. That was number 1. There is an attachment attached to the email. Okay, so that you need to read over it. Then you need to watch the next video that is on this. And then you're going to write. Okay, you're going to write, has Dr. King's dream been achieved? Where has it been achieved? Where has it not been achieved? Okay, you can put your opinions and your feelings in this. I want you to write at least a page, all right? But I want you to just say as much as you'd like to say. I'd like to hear your opinions. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that writing for me. I also put the text of the most famous part of the I Have a Dream speech in there for you to look at. And the other thing that you're going to be reading, the attachment, is known as Dr. King's letter from the Birmingham jail. And it's just a little piece of it. So I want you to read over that. And so you really get the feel for all of this. All right, so next class, Thursday, you will probably be having a video class. That's my expectation because, you know, COVID is still crazy. But I'm going to be go do an outdoor video for you, so those are fun rather than just in the office. But I also would like to hear your opinion, if you want to give it, about doing a Zoom class or a Google Hangout class. I've never done Google Hangout, but I don't think it's too hard. I'm sure I can do it. If you want to do an interacting class, we can only do it if you're going to interact. Okay, you need to be part of the conversation. So if you feel like just, you know, sending me an email or with when you turn in your writing, you want to just give your opinion, I'd like to have a Zoom class. I don't care about Zoom classes. Video are fine with me. So tell me your opinion because I'd love to know. So go ahead and get to work, and I will talk to you later. Bye for now.